Well, what did we just discover, Dad?
We got a cracked block.
Well, glad I got that out of the way. The 2000 F350 7.3 had to throw one more curveball at me. It had a small leak. I just have to tighten something down, fix something. It's up on top, no big deal. I'm gonna get that fixed. Dad's out here today, and he's gonna get this thing cleaned up. This is a block we're gonna use on 4G, and hopefully we can start putting this together. The good thing is, I think the good thing is that it's not in the water jacket. It's on the oil compartment, being that the water jacket's inside here and contained around those cylinders. I don't know. Clean it up, use it, throw some Glyptal in there. I see what happened. So there's this dowel here. See how that one's indented?
They didn't get it...
They didn't get it seated good, and they pressed it in because inside there, you can barely see it, it's kind of protruding. So they might have forced it and it cracked this. That might be repairable, Dad.
Yeah.
I don't know. The cat doesn't like this news either. Where are you going?
I thought we were on the home stretch.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's Little Stripes. The shy one. I'll be honest, I still wouldn't be afraid to use this block. We could put some Glyptal on the inside, seal it up. We'll have to get this out of here and, you know, maybe machine it down a little bit so that it fits in there properly.
Well,
but
usually...
I think we can fix it, hopefully.
If you just clean them up with some sandpaper, you know.
Yeah. They didn't have it seated, or they put the wrong cover on here and then tightened it down, and it...
Yeah.
And it cracked the block, it wedged it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was mentioning that this has been seeping. You can see how the paint's kind of gone away, and you can see where that crack kind of ends right there. There's a look from the inside, and that seam right there is where the casting is, so it cracked right along that seam in the casting. But I'm not too worried about this one. I think we're going to be able to fix this. What do you think?
Yeah, and it's in the oil galley, so...
Yeah, and it's up top. It's...
I think we'll weld it like we did the belt pulley. Glyptal it in here good.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And fix that dowel pin. That's what caused the whole problem.
Yes, yep. Somebody forced it. While Dad was out here cleaning this block, he noticed that there was 4 symbols. I don't know, those look either stamped or engraved. Look like the and symbol. Maybe they're 8s. And he found them in 2 places on the block. Not quite sure what that means. If you know what that means, leave it in the comments down below.
I just barely tapped it and it moved easy. Just look, light taps.
That's good.
And it just comes right out, look.
Yeah, they forced it in there.
Yeah, it's done.
Maybe it didn't line up good.
Put it back in, but that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, you can really see that in the sunlight now. That crack. Dad discovered something, that the tractor number is stamped in the block. It's right down here on this flange where the oil pan mounts.
And the first 3 digits are here, 425.
Oh, okay.
Now wait, this is...
No, this is 4265W.
426.
7J.
So this, I don't know what that means. 425, a 3-digit number.
So they're definitely stamped on there. I'm going to go over on 4G's block and see if it's got them. It most definitely is. 4G9986. That would be it. And this has the 435 code up here at the top also. Feeling pretty good. I got a lot accomplished today. Got the oil change in the compressor, got the oil change in my truck, got the oil leaks fixed, and it's beautiful, unseasonably warm for this time of year in Colorado. So we're taking advantage of this weather to go ahead and clean all this stuff. The cleaner says we should be painting.
Yeah. But we're not really ready for paint.
No, we got a lot of cleaning yet to do. But this is looking a lot better. This is a bell housing off a 7J, and it has a bolt broken off there and one broken off there. So we're going to get those out of there.
Ooh, I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard bolt. They're pretty far down in there. I'm going to give the left-handed drill bits and the easy outs a try, and just cross my fingers that we don't break an easy out in there.
Oh, I see.
Dad's pretty good at sharpening drill bits, so he's going to sharpen up our left-handers. Find out if this is going to work. Oh.
Yeah, you're going backwards.
Yeah. It's counterintuitive. So counterintuitive.
Oh, looky there.
Look at that. Told you, these left-handed drill bits, oh, there wasn't much left in there.
Yeah, that's good.
2 threads.
Give me
okay.
that.
Cool. The drill bit's cutting. There it goes.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful.
I love left-handed drill bits.
Beautiful. Nice.
Cleaner's cleaning threads out here on the block. With that second, third, fourth, fifth evolution of cleaning, this block's starting to look a lot better than it originally did. I'm going to get my sandblaster out and clean the inside of this oil pan up. And yesterday with the sandblaster out, I sandblasted the inside of the valve cover. It had a lot of rust inside there. I'm going to get a coat of Glyptal on there just to get it preserved and keep it from flash rusting again. As for the oil pan, I did the same thing. I was able to bead blast inside this shelf on the very bottom of the oil pan. I want to get a coat of Glyptal in there while this is upside down. Let that cure, then I can flip the oil pan over and Glyptal the other side. And I stayed in the house a little later, came out here a little later, hoping it would warm up a little bit. It's barely at 15 degrees in here today. Yesterday it got very warm outside. Despite the weather forecaster's predictions, I don't see it clearing up today. Here it is, the Glyptal, and the instructions clearly state, where is it, right here, that it needs to be above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. You can clearly see that crack in the block right there. While I'm waiting for it to warm up in here, I'm going to go ahead and grind that out so I can get a little coat of Glyptal on that crack on the inside of the block. Over here on the outside, you can clearly see where it was leaking right there. And my intention is to kind of grind this out, put a little JB weld in there. That Glyptal should seal it just fine from the inside. That's looking pretty good. I don't need to get carried away with it. I just want to cover the crack area really well. So the next step, I'm going to heat it with the torch to burn out any residual oil in that crack. Now you can really see it. It's quite well defined after I've heated it. But definitely does end shy of that seam in the casting. I'm going to heat this side as well. While I got the grinder out, I'm going to clean this side up a little bit too. Now we're getting there. I'm going to mix up some JB Weld. I love this stuff. Paul Harvey. This is definitely farmer engineering at its finest. I get a little generous with it, that's probably okay. The beauty of this stuff is I can sand it or grind it down. But I definitely want to make sure it fills up that hole. This isn't really structural, it's just going to keep it from leaking. I think that the Glyptal is going to do most of the work from the inside. I made way too much. Oh well. I think a little in that crack right there won't hurt a thing. And this is going to get silicone when I put it back together, so I'm not too worried about that. With the JB Weld applied and the temperature where we need it to be, now it's time for the rest of the story. With the JB weld on the other side, I can roll this engine around, and I'm going to Glyptal the inside so that the Glyptal will be flat and stay in place. Glyptal! I love this stuff. Let's open it up. You might remember that Glyptal is what we put on the inside of that broken belt pulley after I welded it back together. I'm not going to get too carried away here. A little bit goes a long way. I just want to seal this crack and everything that I just ground there. And if I get a little bit inside of that dowel pin hole, we'll clean it out with a drill first before we try to put it back in. I think really that's all it's going to take right there. So you can kind of clearly see it in there. There's a shelf under there. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but the oil pump is down in here in this sump, but I want to coat the bottom of this shelf before I flip this pan over. The nice thing is it sticks on your brush really nice. Blood red. It's like a dark red. And because this was so filthy in here, bead blasting really was the only way we could get it cleaned up nice. Oh, that's going to be a beauty. I already like it. And I am not really worried at all about flipping this over. I think it's going to stay right where I need it. I'm going to let that cure for a second and coat the inside of this valve cover. The plan is to paint this, so I'll stop short of this seam right here on this curve. Not bad if I do say so myself. Now I need to roll over the pan so I can paint the other side. I'm going to start underneath here and work my way around. Since I've already got the top of this coated well, I think we're in business. That looks really good, and I can tell you, a little bit goes a long way, because that's done the belt pulley, this oil pan, and the valve cover. And we still have almost, I don't know, 3/4 of the quart left. Before this stuff sets up, I want to get these plugs out of here. I don't want them Glyptaled in there and stuck. And then the next step is to push these in somewhere warm where they can cure. Looking pretty good. We'll set everything aside to dry, and we'll check on it in the morning. Thought I heard somebody meowing out there. I didn't want to let you in. I didn't want to clean Glyptal off your feet after you walked through an oil pan. Yeah. That's had time to cure overnight in a very warm place, and I'm really happy with the results. I think this is going to work just fine. That Glyptal covered really well. And because this pan was so disgusting and so filthy, in the inside paint, the yellow Glyptal type coating that Caterpillar put in there was long gone. This is going to make an excellent replacement. And I think it's going to look just great on the inside of this valve cover as well. This was severely rusted, so we were a little concerned about how we were going to clean it up. But after sandblasting these and getting that Glyptal in there, they look great. And that Glyptal adhered very, very well to that freshly sandblasted surface. It really did a great job on the inside of this engine block. You can't even hardly tell that that hairline crack was in there. Most of this video was off camera. We were outside scrubbing elbow grease over and over. We've been over that engine block about 4 times now in different methods to clean it up. So I do want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. You're back. Your 10-minute break's over. Here you go.
Okay.
Why are you still here? As long as you're here, you might as well subscribe. It's right there. Click it, or down below. And give us a like. And while you're at it, check out one of the other channels that we like to watch. This is our featured channel this week. Or check out one of my older videos.